Happy Thursday and welcome in to GC Live, the Hard Fowl. I'm your host, Intern Joe Macheca. With me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Jack Veltri. And then we are trying to get our guest as we're going through some technical difficulties. But we have Zach Davis for tonight's show. Really big game winner last night at Texas A&M. Zach, can you hear us? We lost Zach. We'll let him get back in here. But Jack, pretty big guest tonight. He hit the game-winning shot last night at A&M. Pretty big win on the road for this men's basketball team at A&M. Walk me through what you saw from the guys last night.
It was a huge win, man. Any win in the SEC is going to be big, but that one, especially last night, the fashion that you won it in was definitely big. Obviously, Zach hit that game-winning go-ahead shot last night with 3 seconds to go, and we'll talk all about that in a few here once he hops on with us. But yeah, man, it was a great win last night. Obviously, you blew the 13-point lead, but you managed to finish off strong, and that's kind of been the identity of this team. So,
yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we got him. Zach, you hear us? Maybe not.
It was working just a second ago.
I know it was working just a second ago. I don't know. We'll have to have him reboot it and then get back to him. But yeah, pretty Jack, if you want to text him to just have him reboot it. Yeah, we'll get it going. But yeah, no, really, really, really big win on the road for this men's basketball team as Jack's just about to figure out what we're going with Zach Davis too. But yeah, really big win on the road. Apologies for all the technical difficulties. Again, we have Zach Davis coming on the show here in a short second. But yeah, really big win on the road. I've said that about 4 times. Apology. But Texas A&M, you continue your quest for March Madness and obviously through the SEC with that win. You've got 2 big home games coming up in Florida and Tennessee. Oh, there we go. We got both Jack and Zach back with us. There it is.
There we go.
Perfect. So yeah, we are now joined by our guest, the man who hit the massive shot last night at Texas A&M, the man of the hour, Mr. Zach Davis. Zach, how are we doing tonight?
Can you hear us?
Let's see. Oh, now he can't hear us?
Yeah. Okay. We can't hear him, so.
Yeah. Hold on.
Man.
Let's see. Mute him. You can hear us? All right.
He can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Let's see. Unmute your mic. Let's see.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Right. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, yeah. It's all good.
What's going on, man?
I'm here. How are y'all doing?
Yeah, we're doing good, man. We'll jump straight into things. First off, thanks again for joining us this evening
No
and
problem.
stuff. Obviously last night, crazy finish and stuff. Just walk us through the final shot last night. Obviously, Texas A&M goes down and scores, and then and this is kind of a 2-part question. Lamont doesn't call a timeout. He trusts y'all to go down there and get the go-ahead bucket. Just take me through that play and what you saw.
Okay, so like you said, they got the ball down the court pretty fast on their possession, so it was just a take in and take out play, and we realized Coach didn't call a timeout because he always said, like, he's not going to really call a timeout in those situations because he trusts us and we know the right things to do. So Michi was dribbling the ball up court, hit him with, like, a little hesitation, got by, and, like, we practiced, like, getting into the right spot, and I just saw that my man helped there. I was in the right spot at the right time, and right away layup for me. Michi made the right pass.
Yeah, and, obviously you mentioned it. Lamont didn't call a timeout there because he got the trust in y'all. What does that say, not just about him and his coaching abilities, but, what does it mean for you guys to be able to have that bond and trust, with Lamont there?
It means a lot. It means that he believes in us, and it gives us confidence being on the court and just the maturity of everybody on the court. We have leaders on the court. When Coach Perry's not saying something, we have like Talon, Michi, BJ, just certain people on the court that can just take the coach's spot while we're on the court. So it just gives us extra confidence just knowing that our coach doesn't really have to worry about those things, and we have players on the team that can help.
Yeah, Zach, we asked BJ kind of a similar question last week, but I'm sure it's a lot of fun to play in an offense where you guys trust each other. How much fun is it? And then what is it like when you guys are trusting each other all at once?
It's fun. We can make a lot happen when we're just moving the ball. Our offense is just built for everybody to score. You can attack, shoot, play off 2 feet. It's just a lot. Yeah, that's really all I can say. It's just a lot. It's a lot of fun playing in this system, though. It gives you a lot of opportunities to score and be successful on the offense end.
What was that? What was that post game celebration like last night when you guys get into the locker room? I'm sure it was crazy.
Yeah, we didn't have our speaker in there, so we was chilling at first. But when we win, we dance. Coach Paris came in there and started doing a little break dance for us, so we had a good time.
Wow, that's awesome.
Have you gotten through all the texts? I know we asked you this before the show, but have you gotten through all the texts? What has the aftermath of your game winner been like?
Almost, but not all the way there yet. But everybody's just hit me up telling me keep your confidence, keep playing defense, great defense, keep rebounding and doing everything you can do to help a team win and be successful. So I'm gonna keep doing that.
Yeah. Did anyone say anything to you in your 8:30? Sorry to cut you off, Jack, but you mentioned you had an 8:30 class this morning after getting back at 2 a.m., which is crazy enough. But did anybody say anything to you in your
Yes, I had some classmates. Some classmates say good game, great shot, the layup after the game. They were like, just keep winning. They were like, see y'all in March. So I was like, I see y'all in March.
Man.
Awesome.
Now, real talk. You said before the show you guys got back from the flight around like 2:30. Real talk. How much sleep did you end up getting last night?
I tell you, we got back at 2:30. I was hungry at 2:30.
Yeah.
I got some food. I didn't go to sleep till like 4 o'clock.
Dude,
I say 4 o'clock.
What'd you get though? That's the real question.
Some Waffle House.
Hey,
got some Waffle House.
Yeah. It's usually between Waffle House or Cookout at that point.
Yeah. I had to go with the Waffle House route last night.
Oh, yeah. Zach, obviously, the last few games had been a little tough. Last week, you guys, or 2 weeks ago now, you guys had gotten blown out by Auburn, and then you lose to LSU in a game that arguably you guys should have won. But then you guys get the week off. You go to Ole Miss, pick up the big win there, and we'll talk about that game here shortly. But what does it say about this team when you guys are able to go through that bad week you guys had and are able to regroup and get 2 big wins on the road?
I feel like we're tough-minded. Just letting the past, like the 40-point loss, the loss versus LSU, just let that get behind us and just focus on the next week, getting better, going back to the basics, and getting ready for the Ole Miss game. So we had to change our whole mindset after losing those 2 games back to back, and just come in with a fresh new mindset and saying like, this Ole Miss game is going to start us back up. We got to do what we got to do. We got to go back to what we was doing before. So just being tough-minded and just believing in each other. That's really what we took in that week off that we had going into the Ole Miss game.
Yeah, absolutely. Zach, it's really easy, especially nowadays, to get lost in kind of the noise and social media and stuff like that. And I'm sure it's even harder when you guys are going through a skid like you guys did. How did you guys lock it in and just kind of stay within yourselves and ignore all the outside noise during that skid?
I can say just don't really pay attention. You got haters. You got people that's going to support you. It's life. You just got to just let it go in and wear out the other. So pay attention to it if you want to, but if you don't, then just keep living your life and keep doing what you got to do. Because they're going to be here regardless. They're going to have something to say regardless for anything you do. So
definitely.
Just don't pay no attention to it.
Yeah. Now, Zach, I'm sure you've been asked a lot about this already since it's been about a week since the Ole Miss game and stuff, but just break down kind of seriously, what happened on that play with Flanagan there, and did it just kind of catch you off guard? Like what happened, man?
Okay, so this is the story I tell to everybody. Last game they came here, he had one of his best nights. I give him that. Going into the next game, really wasn't trying to allow it, just crowded him, making his shots tough. So first half, he really wasn't doing what he was doing the last game. So just get into him, get into his head. And I think on the play before that, I boxed him out, but I gave him like a little muscle. He's kind of bigger than me, so I got to give him a little muscle. He probably didn't like it. I'm just running back down court, looking at the ball being driven up. I just get hit in the head. I'm just like, oh, man, eyes go black. I'm just looking like, I don't know what's going on. That I was just trying not to retaliate and just act off what happened, but it was hard not doing that. It was hard, but I had to be the bigger person in that situation. But I really don't know why he did it. I don't know. It was no beef, no talking back and forth. I don't know.
Are you surprised he hadn't, like, since then, Flanagan hasn't gotten suspended or anything? Did that kind of surprise you? Or, like, that doesn't set a good precedent for things like that happening.
It surprises me because, as you can see, and everybody can see, it's a dirty play. And if you go to the plays before that, it was nothing in between me and him for him to do that. So it's a dirty play. I feel like the officials, the SEC committee, they got to take that on between them. So they don't want to suspend him. They don't want to suspend him. I don't really care. It just shows that you can basically get away with anything in the league. So I don't know.
And that's a crazy situation, man.
Yeah.
More power to you for not retaliating.
Yeah. That's
Takes
what
a real
everybody was telling me. Just being a bigger person, that was a good thing. And my teammates helped me, like, keeping me away. That was good. So good team chemistry.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Zach, I got a question about your game, right? So you are a combo guard. You like to go both ways and really play all 94 feet. How much of, being able to rebound, because you had, I believe, 9 rebounds in that game against Ole Miss. How much has that been a focus for you, and how much has that jump-started your offensive efforts?
Coach Perry is just me being, like, my size and length. He just always want me to crash the boards. Because, like, some people I might guard, they might not be 6'7", 6'8". They might be like 6'4", a little undersized. So a lot of time they really don't go in for the rebound. So just crashing, just giving extra help to BJ and our bigs, it's just a plus. And I can be able to push the ball on the break if I get a rebound. So it opens up a lot, transition. So I feel like that opens up a lot, and it's a lot. I like to do it. I really like to do it.
It's huge.
Yeah, man. So, last night, you obviously, get the game-winning bucket and all that, but you also, I believe you played a career high in, season high in minutes this year, and then you scored, I think, 16 points. Obviously, none of this is happening, I feel like, without Miles Studi going down with that injury and stuff, which kind of allowed you to leap and, blossom into this starting role that you have now. How crazy have these last few weeks been for you, jumping into this starting role, and how do you kind of manage that kind of workload that you're on now?
Just keep being consistent. Like, even when Miles come back, just keep being consistent. Don't let Miles come back take away from what I'm doing. I'm just got to keep being consistent and do the things that Coach want me to do out there, and just be out there and be comfortable and be ready to play and have a lot of confidence, because I know I can play on this level. I know I can do the things I can do. So just being confident and just staying consistent each and every day is just something I keep in mind.
When Miles originally came back from the injury a few weeks ago, I just got to ask, did Lamont have any sort of discussion with either of y'all, or sit you down about, potentially, like, Zach's going to continue to start, or Miles might have a chance to start? Was that ever, like, in the discussion there?
Nah, it was never a discussion. No. It just stayed the way it was.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Zach, kind of pivoting a little bit, looking towards the future. You're part of a younger core in this team, part of the underclassmen. Obviously, you guys have big visions for this program. Walk me through what you guys are seeing with that, and what you guys, have in store for South Carolina beyond this year.
This year right here and beyond, I feel like this is a NCAA tournament team that we have this year, and I feel like as we keep growing, as the more athletes keep coming here, I feel like we can keep going. It's only up from here in my eyes. If we don't do it with this team, we're gonna do it with the next team. We're gonna do it with the next team. We're gonna do it with the team after that. That's just our mindset, and that's what Coach preaches in our head. So just being consistent, doing everything we got to do, and just staying to the rules and being solid. So that's really it.
Yeah, you were a part of the team last year, obviously. A bunch of these guys were. Michi, yourself, Jacoby were a part of that team that went 11-21 last year. Just being honest here, did you ever think it would get to this level of hype and winning so quickly?
I never knew it would be this quickly, but I knew it was coming. You can feel it coming. Coming into this year from last year, you could tell the difference, and the mindset of everybody changed, and the willing to work harder, and like the chemistry, the communication, everything was different. So you can really see it from going into this year from last year. But yeah, I don't know. It's a big change, but it's a blessing at the same time because nobody ever expected us. We would pick 14th in the conference. We sitting at third place right now. Nobody thought we would win this many games. It's just a whole lot. So this is just really a blessing. And you just gotta be grateful and just keep doing everything we gotta do.
Zach, you're also from the state, being from Orangeburg and Denmark, to be exact. What does it mean? There are a lot of guys from South Carolina on this team. What does it mean for you guys to play in front of the home fans?
It means a lot. Being in-state kids, it's no place better you want to be. Like they say, you don't really want to talk about the numbers, but a top 20 team in the country, number 3 in the SEC, NCAA tournament team. We win it. Everything feel good. Family good. Crowd good. Everything's good. It just feels amazing just being in-state. You don't got to go far. You're basically at home. So you got all the family here. I don't know. I think it's a blessing, though.
Yeah. You guys seem to have a ton of chemistry with this team. Obviously, Lamont dancing in the locker room and him being the coach he is. I want to go back to this is something I asked BJ about last week. That trip to the Bahamas really seemed to like set the wheels in motion for this entire year. What do you remember about that trip specifically that, really felt like y'all got super close together? I mean, BJ was talking about all the fun times you guys were having, then going like snorkeling and Coach Paris like jumping in the water and stuff. What was it kind of like, man?
Just like take out what BJ said, the water thing, I'm never doing it again. It was fun, a lot of laughs, everybody having a good time, but that's something I'd never do again personally. Just going in a resort, going in a little slides and a little water, different things. Everything was just fun. Like a lot of laughs, though, a lot of laughs and talks and just bonding together. I think that brought us really together as one. So that Bahamas trip really helped us a lot to come together.
Yeah. A follow-up question we asked BJ with this, obviously with LPs, he has a lot of quarter zips. Do you have an estimate on how many he has? Like, do you know do you guys have an idea of how many that he might have? How many quarter zips he's got in the closet?
I don't know, but I see him with it a lot, so yeah. I don't want to put a number out there because it might sound crazy, but he got a lot of them though. That's just a little thing he does. That's a little thing he got. So, what was BJ number?
BJ said the same thing. He really didn't give us.
I don't really know. He got a couple black ones though. I can say that he got a few black ones.
Put it this way though. Is it over under let's put a number on it. Over under 10 quarter zips.
It's probably over 10.
It's definitely over 10.
Probably over 10, yeah. For sure over 10, yeah.
Man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Zach, we're entering kind of the home stretch of SEC play with the regular season and stuff. Y'all got 2 big home games coming up and then go to Mississippi State to end the regular season. And then obviously from there, it's a whole nother game. Postseason play, SEC tournament, potential March Madness. How do y'all continue just to keep playing the way you are and stay locked in? Like, what's it going to take to finish the season strong and leave absolutely no doubt about where y'all stand long term?
Everybody just being consistent and staying to the grind. It's no let up. Season not over here, and we got a lot of goals that we still want to accomplish still. So everybody just sticking with it and just remaining solid and looking at one goal. Like the goal is to get to the tournament and go from there. So everybody having the same mindset is just key for everybody in this whole team and system that we have. So yeah.
Zach, I got one more before we get to the Garnet Trust question. I don't know if Jack got any more, but you guys have 2 more games in front of your home fans. Obviously, this team likes to feed off the home crowd a little bit. Any message to anyone coming out to those games?
It's gonna be a packed one Saturday. Y'all be there at 12 o'clock. Y'all really have nothing much to do, so be there. Come support. And versus Tennessee, that's senior night. Everybody come to support. Come support the seniors. That's what I had to say. Come be loud and bring a lot of energy. We love it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I got one more question before we get into our Garnet Trust little question here. Been seeing that you and Michi, even Gigi, were at some of the baseball games lately. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the team this year, man? How do you feel like they're looking?
They're gonna be pretty good. I ain't never seen somebody smack a home run in person in my life. Like not like what they be doing out there. It's fun. We actually like one one of our closest friends is a pitcher. He's a freshman, so we be going out there supporting him. Even though he don't play, we still go out there and support. We got some friends on the team that we knew from last year, so it's just fun being out there. It's cold, but it's fun. I used to play baseball when I was younger, actually, so I know some about the game, but it's just fun to be out there.
That's
It's
awesome.
funny that you mentioned cold. I can remember walking around the warning track and seeing you and Michi all cold, all bundled up. That's
cold.
funny. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Before we let you go, none of this going on right now wouldn't be possible without Garnet Trust and stuff. And we're super appreciative to, have this opportunity to talk to you through them and all that. Just wanted to ask you straight up, what does Garnet Trust mean to you?
It's a family. They support and they help each and every person at the school, and I feel like it benefits a lot. Going on how the world is now, they can just help student athletes and just be a liability, not a liability. I said it wrong. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but they help us a lot.
Yeah.
They help us a lot. They support us a lot. But we love you. I love you. I love you, Garden Trust.
Absolutely. That's huge. No better endorsement than from the man, Zach Davis. Zach, we appreciate you hopping on with us. Hopefully you can get some sleep here tonight.
I'm going to get some sleep tonight. I got to go shoot later on.
For sure. Hey, thanks again, Zach. Always appreciate it, man.
No problem. Appreciate y'all.
All right, thanks, man.
Oh, yeah. That was Zach Davis, the man, the myth, the legend. Really good interview. 2 for 2.
We're getting pretty good at this, man.
Yeah.
We got a good thing. We got a good thing going here. So we appreciate Zach and obviously BJ last week hopping on and giving us that inside look at all this. And it's awesome, seeing these guys do well, and then we get to go on and just talk about this sort of stuff. So it's a good time for Gamecock basketball right now, and yeah, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we appreciate Zach jumping on, especially on running on as little sleep as he is, and, having 2 tests, one of them being at 8:30 sounds brutal. That's the life of a student athlete. I've had basketball players in my classes, as I'm sure you have too, Jack. Yeah. Those guys go to class. Like Lamont, they go to class. They're always there and consistent. This basketball team certainly showing up on campus. So, yeah, hopefully Zach can get some sleep here pretty soon.
Yeah, man, dude, this guy's been through a hell of a week with the whole Flanagan thing, and then last night getting the game-winning bucket. I mean, it's like
a lot for a sophomore.
It's like a Disney story right here, man. It's a crazy week he's had, and that's good on him for making it to class and all that. But
hometown kid from Oberg, the Orangeburg.
Orangeburg, man.
Lives in Orangeburg, and in Denmark, South Carolina. It's huge for a guy like Zach to be able to perform at South Carolina. His pretty much hometown school. I mean, Orangeburg's 30 minutes away. So, he's really close to family. And I liked his answer about playing in front of the home crowd. And, hopefully he can get some shots up and then hopefully get, I don't know, maybe 6 hours tonight, right? You would hope, Jack?
You got to, look, they say, doctors recommend like 8 hours of sleep. I don't know about that happening, honestly, with the way these guys' schedules are.
There was one thing we did forget to ask him about is the war zone, if he was on the war zone.
Oh, I know. I thought about it at the end. I was like, after the Garnet Trust question, I'm like, we got to ask about that, right? Yeah. But it was like,
we'll ask Talon about it whenever we can get Talon. Yeah. Apparently he's the general, right? The call out.
Apparently he is the general. And that Talon Cooper, we will definitely be trying to get him on.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely, Jack. So that was pretty good. Obviously, this basketball team pretty big. 2 home games coming up. First one against Florida. Can you walk me through what you're seeing from the Gators so far this season?
Yeah. First off, South Carolina. That's that 2-game road trip.
We can talk. Yeah, we can start with the 2-game road trip. Yeah, I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit here.
Yeah, you're good. You're good because we could still break down the whole future.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the odds right now for that Florida game. South Carolina's actually favored for once. Wow. Yeah. So anyway, that A&M game last night. First off, we'll try to get him on at some point, but let's give props where it's due, man. Michi Johnson, man, he had a hell of a night. 22 points on 14 shooting in 29 minutes, and he hit 3 threes. So, we've talked about before. He's struggled lately. We all know it. He knows it. And it's just at some point you felt like it was going to click. When we didn't know, that's kind of basketball for you. You know, you go through cold stretches, and unfortunately for him, he kind of had been going through almost a month stretch combined with the concussion and all that. It hadn't been going well, but you see him last night. He goes out there and does Meechie Johnson things. It's not just the rebounds and the assists and the good defense. It's driving down the floor and making that great pass to Zach Davis and hitting those shots that he hit. I mean, look, that's the Meechie Johnson you need the rest of the season. And last night, I mean, if he can get back to that kind of trend he was on yesterday, I mean, South Carolina is going to be in good hands. And then Talon Cooper as well. I mean, we had talked about both those guys struggling lately. And obviously, Talon only had 11 points last night. But look at it this way, man. He had 9 assists, 8 rebounds. He's, 3 big plays away from getting a triple-double potentially. And he hits 3 threes as well. So, look, I mean, he had a great night last night. And, I mean, if you want to break down anything they probably need to be better at, it's probably free throw shooting, 6 of 13 for 46.2%. That's not anything great to look at.
But it's nothing to be concerned about either, right? This team has had really, really good. Yeah.
It's fixable.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but long-term, I mean, look, 2 weeks ago, those 2 games where they lost by 40, and then they lose to an LSU team they should have beat. I mean, that could have been, the wrap up. That could have been it. But there's still so much games left to play, and they had that week off. I think that week off was so important for getting their mindset right. Because I feel like if they had to go right back out there like 3-4 days later and go play, it would have been tough. But you have 5-6 days off before you get to go on the road for 2 games, and you pick up 2 wins. I mean, South Carolina at this point. I mean, I'm not going to confirm anything. But it definitely feels like unless they drop every game the rest of the regular season and then SEC tournament, I feel like they're pretty much bound to make the NCAA tournament at this point.
Yeah, no, they're definitely on the right track. I think, the way that this team has responded and the way that, both BJ and Zach Davis have sounded with how this team has been playing and performing these last couple of days, especially in responding to the losses too, is another big thing. But this team is rock solid in the center, right? The chemistry is still all there. They all, seem to be just fine, right? They're responding well after losses, taking what they need to, right? And so I think that's huge. If the chemistry is intact at this point, it should be March and sleep day today, Jack, as I miscorrectly said yesterday. But yeah, no, you're into March officially now.
Yeah,
the chemistry is still intact. You're playing good basketball, right? And guys like Zach Davis are showing through, right? Underclassmen that have really, really worked their tail off to get into the position that they are. So when they're called upon, they stepped up, and Zach Davis, again, one of those guys.
Yeah, he's been big ever since Miles Studi went down with that injury. He's been awesome for this team. And we get a question here from Bird Tolfy or
Too-Fly. Come on, Jack.
I'm sorry, man. What's up, guys? Should we be looking forward to a doubleheader on Saturday for the Clemson series? Well, we will have a doubleheader in some way. From a certain point of view, we will have a doubleheader because basketball is at noon that day, and then it's baseball at not Founders Park, Segra Park at 4 o'clock. So I will be there for both games. Joe will be joining me for the 4 o'clock. Yeah, taking pictures for baseball. But yeah, man, it's going to be a busy day. But I get what the question was. I was making a partial joke. There's not going to be a doubleheader for baseball. The thing is, there's 3 different venues they're playing at this weekend, right? Founders Park Friday, Segra Park Saturday, and then Sunday you go to Clemson. Logistically, I mean, you could do it, but that's something they don't want to do, right? I think Mark Kingston talked about earlier today, kind of basically preaching that they want to really try to get all 3 games in this weekend and play 1 game at a time and not do a doubleheader. I mean, you could do it, hypothetically speaking, play the first game at Founders Friday or Saturday afternoon and then head over to Segra later that day. But it's just they're not going to do that. So let's say hypothetically the game tomorrow gets rained out. You're not playing it this weekend. So then they're going to try to play it tomorrow. But who knows if it ends up getting played because of the rain. You're looking at a scenario, I think it was like 2021, where I think one of those games it was the Clemson game at Clemson that got rained out. and you had to play it later in the season as a midweek. So it's unfortunate, but it's just something that it's a reality when you schedule this series and have it be at 3 different places instead of one spot where you can do a doubleheader. But we'll see what happens, and I think it's probably better off that it's not the middle game of the series, because God knows what happens if that Segra Park game gets rained out, because the Fireflies are a minor league team that plays there, and it's like, how are you going to schedule around that? But
their season's coming up. Obviously, they're not playing there currently, but they, the reschedule makes that one tricky.
Exactly.
And who knows? I mean, there's rain all weekend.
I mean, Saturday and Sunday seem to be better. It just seems to be cloudy out. Tomorrow seems to be the worst day. So fingers crossed they get all 3 games in this weekend. But worst case, just Saturday and Sunday, honestly, because I don't know if Friday's going to happen. But man, it's gonna be a massive packed weekend with basketball and baseball. We even got football tomorrow, so it's
some football news for the weekend. As Mike Furry has been hired, so we should be there all out in force tomorrow morning. We'll have all that coverage as well. But Jack, before we get out of here, and then we'll give final thoughts on basketball, obviously, as well. But I want to talk to everyone about our good friends over at Liberty Tax. Tax ID is an uncertain feeling you get right before doing your taxes, but you don't have to go through it alone. The tax team at Liberty Tax in Irmo, Lexington, and Columbia will walk you through the process, clear up any confusion, and guarantee you'll get the biggest possible refund or your money back. It's tax time. If you're in a hurry for a refund, call on the tax team at Liberty Tax. They are fast, accurate, and guaranteed. On the other hand, if you think you might be owing Uncle Sam, talk to Liberty Tax team to make sure you're not paying more than you should owe. They'll find every possible deduction for you. Locally owned and operated, staffed by tax professionals from your neighborhood. Open 9 to 9 on weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturdays with multiple service options. Start through the Liberty Tax mobile app or through the desktop portal. Make an appointment or just walk in, upload your tax. Give a call to upload your tax documents, and when you come in, your return will be ready to review and sign. Give them a call, 803-462-5576. Once again, on your screen right now, and for those listening, 803-462-5576. Jack, the show is also brought to you by our good friend Clint Hammond of the Movement Mortgage Network. In need of help with your mortgage, give our guy Clint Hammond a call. He's been in the mortgage industry since 2003, which allows him to help everyone from the first-time home buyer to the complicated and complex jumbo buyer. Whether you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance, nothing is more important than a well-thought-out financial strategy that comes with 5-star customer service. He's even helped out our very own Wes Mitchell and former Gamecock quarterback Perry North with their mortgages, so give our guy Clint a call. He's above us on all of our Gamecock Central live programming, 803-771-6933. Once again, 803-771-6933. That's Clint Hammond of the Movement Mortgage Network. Give him a call for all of your mortgage needs. Jack, final thoughts before we get out of here and close a pretty good episode of the Hard Fowl.
First off, fantastic episode, man.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to – we're tooting our own horn about this, man. We've been killing it lately, and – what a great show. Thank you again for Zach Davis joining us, taking some time out of his probably insanely packed schedule, man. I can't even imagine what the last not even 24 hours at this point have been like with traveling and playing a basketball game, hitting a shot, all the texts and coming home and then Waffle House, etc., taking exams. It's not an easy life. So we appreciate him taking a little bit of time out of his schedule. But anyway, basketball speaking. Great win last night. You got 3 games left in regular season play to go, 2 of which at home. Every game's must win, right? You'd want, like I asked Zach, you want to leave absolutely no doubt with this tournament committee, because I mean, who knows what happens? You never know. You can never be too sure. After that whole 2016 debacle or 2015, whatever year it was, but Florida and Tennessee, both ranked matchups. If South Carolina can somehow win both those games and do it just like they did it this weekend on the road, man, who knows, man? I think they're going to catapult up the rankings if they can come out of here with 2 more wins and leave zero doubt about where they stand. And I think they've got a real good chance of doing it if they play their cards right and they play their kind of style of basketball. So looking forward to this home stretch here. And then we got Nashville in a few weeks, man. I mean, that's a big tournament for South Carolina, even with all the good things they've done here in the regular season, because you can definitely – I mean, we're not just talking about win a game in the SEC tournament and you're in.
Yeah. We're
looking at – this is a team that can actually win the whole thing if we're being honest. I mean, look, Alabama's a great team. They are one of the highest scoring teams in the nation, but they have their flaws. Tennessee, South Carolina went to Tennessee and beat them. Obviously Dalton Connect is unguardable. I mean, that's undeniable at this point. I fully expect him to go out there and drop 30 points next week against South Carolina. That's just the reality of it. Whether you can stop the rest of that team or not, that's where you really can win the game.
Yep.
So they did it before. I believe they can do it again if they play their game the right way. Obviously, Tennessee's going to be pissed off about that game a few weeks ago and try to salvage another big game and stay atop the SEC. But all I could say, man, is buckle up and get ready for what is going to be we could potentially be having another month of basketball here. It's going to be absolutely bananas.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I second that. Shout out to Zach Davis celebrating with Waffle House. That's awesome. That's exactly how you're supposed to do it. Waffle House, and then I'm glad he agreed with the cookout statement too. Like I was, because it's spot on, right there. We know exactly which location he was at, and so yeah, it's chef's kiss on that one, especially after the elbowing and just kind of those 2 weeks. Or these last couple of weeks Zach Davis has had. I'm sure that Waffle House tasted so sweet. I'm sure that was freaking awesome. But so yeah, shout out to Zach. It was a great interview. Appreciate him taking the time, being so tired and as still needing to get up shots and stuff like that. We always appreciate it around here. But yeah, in terms of this team, right, 2 really, really big basketball games in front of them, very winnable ones as well. Right, I think Tennessee's going to be the more challenging one. I think this team can take care of Florida, and they're going to need to take care of Florida to have the momentum going into Tennessee. I think that this one's at home. Students will be back, hopefully. I think because spring break is this next upcoming week, so hopefully you can get some students back in there for Tennessee. It should be a wild one, right? You need to do your job and take care of business. But yeah, it's because Tennessee's that's another Saturday game, right?
No, so
that's on Tuesday. So no, okay, yeah.
The breakdown is Saturday at noon, South Carolina versus I believe number 24, Florida, and then next Wednesday. There's also baseball too at 3:00. So it's going to be doubleheader. That's going to be crazy. But they play Tennessee 7:00 at CLA, and then regular season finale, I believe, is next Saturday. Against Mississippi State on the road. Yeah, man, it's going to be one more week of regular season basketball. Then it's all up for grabs, man.
Yeah, and like those students said to Zach this morning, like they'll see him in March. Like the student body will travel to wherever. Right, yeah. I'm not doubting the student body as formerly one of them. So yeah, it's big. And then, so obviously you take care of business at Tennessee or against Tennessee. And then you've got Mississippi State to close it out. This team is certainly more than capable of doing so, certainly capable of going on a run if they choose, right? Just need to execute and trust each other in this offense and keep the chemistry up, right? Keep doing what they're doing, stay close because it's the best time of year to be doing so. So yeah, Jack, you got anything else before we take this thing out?
We appreciate all y'all sticking around and tuning into the show. Definitely happy with what we're doing here, man, and look forward to continuing the show moving forward, Joe. Happy to do it with you, pal.
Absolutely. No, it's always a pleasure. And again, one more last time, thank you to Zach Davis for joining us this evening. We'll have that full interview posted on JW, all that stuff, and YouTube as well. The catch a full replay coming up on the Gamecock Central YouTube. And then obviously we'll have the Hard Fowl. I think we might have a special edition of the GC Live post-game show, depending on the weather and baseball, depending on how all of that is going. So stay tuned for that. And then we'll have the walkthrough on Sunday. So appreciate everyone joining us here tonight. Have a good rest of your week, and we will hear from you this weekend.